You're listening to the Los Rotos Podcast with Vanessa Scaduto. Produced by Upside Down Creative Media. Yeah, we're just going to start over.
Okay.
And I will do my benvendido. I was joking around when I was like, hi, welcome. What if I don't ever start. I would never. I'm usually high energy, my guy.
Feed off me.
Feed off you. No, you don't say off the wall shit. Just be yourself.
I'm going to be. I mean, but that's me too.
This is still recording.
Okay.
This is all on tape.
Good.
It's a record of our existence. You ready, Marshall? All right. Bienvenido a Los Rotos Podcast. Welcome back to Los Rotos, guys. I'm Vanessa Scaduto, your host. And today I have Jake McCown with me. What's up, Jake?
I'm Tits McGee.
Again, I asked you before about the reference. I guess it's Anchorman.
Yeah. It's Anchorman.
And we'll get into that because I don't know much about Anchorman. I think what did I say? Step Brothers. Basically anything like there. I love Will Ferrell, but I guess I didn't really watch a lot of Will Ferrell stuff.
Right.
Yeah, I feel like I was left out of a lot of memes at some point. But why don't you tell the audience more about yourself? So, like, when did you get into comedy? Why did you get into comedy? And why are you here in Florida? Because I know you have traveled around.
Right. I'm Jake McCown, as she said, from Gainesville, Florida. I enlisted in the Marine Corps, then moved to California after my enlistment, owned a hostel there. And the reason why I got into comedy, there's a lot of reasons. But like I've always been kind of like a Dennis the Menace, like as a kid. Like I wrote, like as a kid, like I love Jackass, the show. So we used to film ourselves doing.
Did you like wrestling too, though? Were you?
I did not.
Okay, all right.
I would have loved to love wrestling, but my dad ruined that for me.
Why?
Let's talk about trauma. He ruined wrestling for me. He told me it wasn't real. So like, how am I, as an 8-year-old, how am I supposed to be like, oh,
well,
I'm just watching Days of Our Lives in Speedos.
That's exactly what that is. But I mean, with a homoerotic spin on it.
Yeah, and it's like you told me it wasn't real. So how am I supposed to get into the love stories of two men, oiled up and
I don't know.
Pinning each other?
That's a good point because I mean, I used to actually still like wrestling for the drama of it and the outfits.
Right.
There was definitely something to that, And then, of course, like, what is it? Savage? What is it? Randy Savage? Where he's like, snap into the Slim Jim. Is there something like, I never bought a Slim Jim, but I still love to see those commercials with them in it. Like, what was it? Ric Flair was the one guy, right? Mm-hmm. The Undertaker.
Sure.
All these guys are still, well, not all of them. Actually, maybe one or two are still alive. And I think the Undertaker, he's still working, right?
Yeah. Ric Flair's still alive, barely, I think. Yeah. So I did not like wrestling
as a kid. Excuse Jake for burping into the mic. He's having some Modelo's. I am too, actually. I shouldn't act like he's the only culprit. But you didn't. I'm sorry. I interrupted with you and your dad's trauma.
Yeah.
I mean, is that the worst?
I just dove right into the worst.
Yeah, but is that the worst though? Really, that's the trauma you're talking about from your dad.
You're downplaying my trauma right now.
I'm sorry. You're right. I'm minimalizing. Let me validate your feelings. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that your dad told you wrestling wasn't real. Do you think there's anything else he did that superseded that?
I mean, we just jumped into the deep end right now, but I would say, honestly, most of my trauma comes from dealing with my mom.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ouch, man. Me too. Sorry.
Yeah.
Are you in therapy?
No.
Oh, get to therapy, bro. I think I still have issues with my mom too, but therapy's definitely, it helps me. Helps me hate myself less.
Sure. I mean,
I don't know if that's your issue, but when you don't feel your mom's love or whatever, like you tend to not like yourself usually.
Well, we can get into that.
Because if my mom won't love me, who will? Anyway, sorry. I'm sorry. That's what I tell myself. Just projecting.
No, you're good. So I was talking about getting into comedy. I wrote like I used to be like first off we filmed like Jackass like style stuff. Like,
did you really?
Yeah, kind of. Well, we didn't even film it. We're just like doing it.
Oh man,
for the love of the game.
I don't even know. Yeah, I was gonna say I don't know what's worse.
We would just fuck with people constantly.
I don't know what's worse though. I feel like it's worse that you didn't film it. Now that you realize you can monetize it.
But it was like 2002.
Oh yeah, I guess. No, you wouldn't have known where to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know. Plus, there's like 1,000 other kids.
No VHS tapes, like no VHS recorder.
I couldn't afford that.
I know. Well, 2002, it started getting a little cheaper, I think.
Okay.
But it wasn't until like 2006, 2007, I think they started to like digitize the cameras, and you could start using like USB or like SD cards or stuff like that.
Right.
Anyway, I'm sorry. I did it again. Anyway, back to you.
Yeah, let's focus on the star here.
Okay. I'm sorry, Tits McGee. Go right ahead.
Yeah, so like also I did that, and then like in high school I got in trouble all the fucking time. Like one time I wrote an essay. I went to a big high school, and my teacher had a daughter in my grade, but I didn't know her at all.
Okay.
And she made us write an essay about we would spend the day with. And I wrote about spending the day with her daughter, a romantic day.
You did not.
Yes.
Were you guys at least the same age?
Yeah. I mean the daughter?
Yes.
Yeah, we were in the same grade.
Okay.
I never met her in my life though.
I mean, okay.
But she didn't know that. She probably thought I knew her, for all I know.
Like, you're some creep.
Yeah, I wrote about us.
Yeah, I've been waiting for this chance all the.
No, I wrote about us having like dinner by the fireplace and cuddling up.
No, you did not.
Yeah.
Wait, how old are you?
I was like 14 at this time.
Oh,
13, 14, whatever ninth graders are.
Okay,
yeah.
Very, very testosterone fueled.
It was funny.
Imagination
fueled for me.
Oh, you were just being funny?
Yeah, that's what I thought I was being. Yeah.
See, as a woman, I'm like, okay, very creepy.
I'm sure most of my jokes come off as very creepy to women, but they crack me up. So.
Well, if they don't know you, I would initially be like, oh, this dude wants to like hug you by a fire. Yo, serial killer vibes. Yeah, but still serial killer vibes. Like, you're only 14.
Or
like,
son-in-law vibes. That's what I was going for. Anyways,
okay.
I got in trouble for that, as you can imagine.
Did you ever hook up with the daughter?
I never even met her.
Oh, still never met her, even after that.
Shout out Miss Flamon.
We know you're watching. We know you're
Speaking of creepy, let me look at the camera.
Okay, so you wrote the letter.
Yeah. So I used to do that all the time. I used to write essays that got me in trouble.
But intentionally to fuck with people is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay. So you were intentionally just, okay.
I had like a teacher that, so I got kicked out of that school, and I went to another one. And I was like the only white kid in most of my classes.
Okay.
A place called Eastside High School in Gainesville, where like they had like a SMART program, and basically all the Asians, white kids, and Indian kids were in this program. Me and the 3 white kids and the rest of the black kids were all in the regular classes.
Okay.
And so I would write. I had a teacher who was cool. He'd make us write essays, and I would read these essays out loud, kind of like stand up almost. And I would just try to get laughs. And then I don't know. I went to the Marine Corps. My sense of humor was still there, but like I didn't even think about trying to make people laugh really.
Until when then?
Until my life sucked, and I was doing a fucking Uber driver. Like don't be an Uber driver if you want self-respect at the end of the day.
Thank you. I too was once an Uber driver, and I'm working on getting back my self-respect.
Yeah, it's hard, right? More trauma than your dad telling you wrestling's not real.
So you would try your bits on the people, right?
No, I would not.
You didn't?
I fucking hated them, and it came off. Like,
nah, I didn't. I was always nice to them, and I would try my bits on them. But initially I wasn't intentionally trying. But then I realized I'm already repeating the story over. How can I make this a tight bit? It's like my, I mean, you get at least 5 minutes with these people. You got to warm them up. So it's a good 10, 15 minute. And I was in Oakland, California. So
I was in the same area. What years?
2008. 2017, 18?
No shit.
No, get out of here, bro.
Yes, I was there 2016, 17.
Oh yeah? Where in Oakland did you live?
Like I lived in Antioch.
Okay.
I've lived in San Francisco too, but I started Uber. I guess I started Uber when I was in San Francisco.
Okay.
But I would go everywhere around the Bay. So
I did not really want to go anywhere besides San Fran and Oakland. Now I did do Amazon Flex, and like sometimes I go to Vallejo or something like that. But even Vallejo at night though, man, that's sketch, like super sketch.
Yeah.
But I lived right at Merritt Lake, like in the heart of Oakland. So
okay. That's so weird. We both lived there at the same time.
Shut up.
But okay, so I listened to a lot of podcasts, and kind of like your last guest or last episode, I saw the Couch guy,
CJ Couch. Yeah.
Yeah, he got it from Joe Rogan. Like people were talking about.
Wait, how old are you?
I'm 34.
Okay. I guess CJ's 30. Yeah. So you got it from Joe Rogan too? Just like
him talking about people getting into stand-up. I was like, yeah, why? How come no one's ever told me to do this? You know? Like, I was like, I feel like I was exhibiting classic signs of someone that could do stand-up, but no one's like, yo, get up on stage and do jokes.
You know what's crazy? I got to find this. And if any of my friends from high school are watching this and you have a yearbook, you'd probably be surprised that I actually didn't graduate with you, but I look like I did in the yearbook. So in that yearbook, yeah, I dropped out 3 months before I was supposed to graduate. It's fine. I have a college education, several degrees. High school doesn't mean shit. So anyway, you know who you are. No, I'm kidding. But if you guys do have a yearbook in that year 2000, that's when I graduated. Yeah, keep drinking. They actually elected me. I'm pretty sure it was that year, that or 1999, but they elected me to be a stand-up comic.
Really?
A future stand-up comic. Me and my friend Aaron, Aaron's been looking. Aaron, if you're watching this too, he's been looking for the yearbook for years now. I haven't heard back. I've been trying to get Aaron to go back and do it because he got elected to be a stand-up comic too, and we took pictures, but he's never done it.
Look at you now, crushing the open mic scene.
This fucking asshole. So dead on. Oh my God. If I had a knife on me right now, the land side right now, it would be like shank, 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 shank. Anyway, fucking A, dude, I'm gonna kill you. If there's ever a roast, I'm just gonna come up with the best material for you.
I want to do roast like I've talked about.
I know you want to do roast because you have hate in your heart. Okay?
A lot, yeah.
Here's the thing. I started having more hate in my heart when I moved to Oakland, only because I was with two of my guy friends and all they do is roast the fuck out of each other.
Yeah.
So, and one of them is from South Philly and not the gentrified South Philly, the 80s South Philly, 90s South Philly, where you could die, just walking out of your house.
One of my best friends is from Philly too. He's blunt as fuck.
And then also one of our other friends, he's an MC, he's a rapper. So that kind of, to me, the reason why I like hip hop is because I find hip hop to have comedy in it. They're hilarious. They're quick witted.
Yeah.
And so he's the same way. So he just spits shit out off the top of his dome too. So being with them, I had to kind of just man up a little bit. You know what I mean? So anyway, it's been a journey with that though. I hate being mean. But you like being mean. I'm sorry. I'm listening to you, but Anna's messaging me, so I just want to make sure.
She's like the better podcast.
No. I just want to
get that on with. Yeah.
No, because she's traveling from Orlando right now, so I don't want her to think I don't know if she's traveling if it's a immediate question, and it was. So I just want to let her know.
Okay.
Sorry. You're fine. You called me an open mic comic, so. You can suck.
Where did I meet? I mean, I met you at open mic.
The dick I don't have. No. So you saw Joe Rogan. You like comedy. And you didn't understand why nobody told you about it. But did you? And nobody in your family was ever interested in comedy.
No, no one was. No one told me everyone told me I was funny, but no one was like, "You all right?"
No. I'm joking.
Well, just call Anna right now. Put her on speakerphone.
Anna, you're already on the podcast. Would you like to do it from the road?
This guest sucks. Let me get you on right now, and then we'll just get him out of here when you get here.
Listen, continue what you're saying though. Seriously. So you basically, okay, nobody told you, but your family wasn't into comedy, you're saying?
Yeah.
You didn't even watch I guess you said you watched Will Ferrell movies, right?
No, I watch stand up and stuff.
Okay. But
let's get my phone out too.
Okay. And we have a one-upper on us, people. We have a one-upper.
Yeah, so I watched stand up and stuff.
What stand-up did you ever have an all-time favorite before you got into it?
Okay, so Chris Rock was funny as fuck.
Of course, yeah, of course.
I like Tracy Morgan. He did some funny ass stand-up. I didn't have a favorite stand-up before I got into stand-up, I would say. But now that I'm in the stand-up, I'm like a comedy nerd, which I know like a lot of comedians that are like in the New York scene that don't know I exist, and a lot of people don't know they exist. But that's how much of a comedy nerd I feel like I am.
So, but what about do you like any comedy, comics from the West Coast, or?
I like more New York comedians than California ones.
Yeah, well, New Yorkers I think are more blunt and more straightforward, and they're not necessarily SJWs, like social justice warriors. They're not really trying to be heroes. They're just observant and tell it like it is.
Right.
I'm a New Yorker, so I love New York comics. I've been following, I don't know how many, but I also follow West Coast, and then of course there's the Austin people now, that are congregating, but they were Austin comics there before that happened. So I was following those people too beforehand. But there's a lot of funny comics in this country. We're pretty lucky, actually.
We're the birthplace of stand-up.
Yeah, I know that. Again, comedy nerd also. Don't have to mansplain to me. Where my SJWs at? Where are they at? No.
As soon as I said that, I was she didn't like that comment.
I had to look up what SJW is. So if I'm insulting somebody, I don't know. I'm sorry. I shouldn't say that. I was just, somebody wrote it in a comment. I was like, what is an SJW?
Yeah. Super.
Yeah. I mean, I know that now, but I'm just saying, if I'm offending anybody, I'm not, this is what I mean. I just didn't know, because I just find it funny that we're doing acronyms of stuff and labeling and tagging and canceling and doxing and not being American, you know what I mean?
Crazy.
Sharing private information across all, things. All right, let me kick that soapbox away. All I'm saying is just freedom, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Freedom!
Well, okay. Have any of your guests asked you how you got into comedy?
No, because I'm the person who usually... No, but that's very nice. I mean, are you asking me?
Yeah.
I think I've been into comedy most of my life. I don't really know. I remember though when I got heavily into it, it was around 2010. It's probably around when podcasts started, and when I could hear random comics who maybe they didn't on Spotify, even maybe they didn't even Pandora used to have it too. Does anybody use Pandora anymore? I don't know. But anyway, but I got to know who Chad Daniels was. I even met him. Dude's hilarious. He's, to me, super smart jokes. Obviously, I was introduced to Amy Schumer that way. She wasn't famous at all. She didn't even have a Comedy Central show. None of that stuff.
Her show stands up, by the way. I watched it years later. It's funny as fuck.
It's still funny as fuck. I don't know why people hate on her so much. There was a time period where it was a little sketch. Even I was a little with her.
She's an SJW.
Oh, stop.
It's true, though.
No. But what I think it was the climate of everything. Everything was exacerbated during that time period. You know what I mean? At least the time period I'm speaking of, which is during the Trump election and Hillary and all this stuff. But anyway, I don't want to get political with stuff. But I'm trying to think who else I knew, because I already obviously I was into New York comics like Bobby Kelly, Louis C.K. I really don't care about your opinion about that. And Tom Papa, all of them were originally, even Joe Rogan, all of them done comedy in New York at some point. Dave Attell. Yeah. Nobody's going to tell me shit about Dave. I just spit everywhere, but nobody's going to tell me, it's fine, you'll get COVID. But nobody's going to tell me shit about Dave Attell. It's Andrew Dice Clay, too. I grew up with him. Yeah. Rodney Dangerfield. These are the guys I grew up watching, I went back and watched Richard Pryor's, on Sunset Boulevard. Like, I'm that person. And, I saw some correlations with comics. You should have put that sound right up to the mic. I saw a lot of, like, even comics doing stuff now. And I don't want to say specific ones because they're pretty famous. Like, did very big callbacks to a lot of his jokes in that special, to the point where I'm almost like, it's almost so close. You just change the setup slightly, but the premise is almost exactly the same. And
Like who?
No, I don't want to.
You don't want to offend your friends?
No, this is not my friend. This is somebody like really famous.
Okay.
Yeah, I saw the correlation between the jokes. And who's to say that he didn't come up with that on his own? But when you watch Sunset and you watch his, you go, but that was done in the 70s.
Yeah. You know, it's funny. It's funny you say that because literally the very first joke I did was about my dad's like tall. He's like 6'2".
Uh-huh.
And I like walked in on him when I was like 14, 15, whatever it was, and naked. He has like a big ass dick. And then I was like, the very first joke I ever did. And I was like, yo, that's cool. I'm going to be 6'2" and I'm going to have a giant dick. And then I'm still 5'8". I still have a very 5'8" dick.
Yeah. So your dad looks at you in disappointment.
Yeah. No, that's more trauma.
I'm kidding though.
But what I'm getting
I'm totally kidding. I'm sorry. I shouldn't try to trigger you.
No, you're fine. But I was watching Instagram, and this girl comic was like, I walked in on my dad naked, and he had a big ass dick, and then I fucked my boyfriend, and afterwards my boyfriend was like, "What's wrong?" And you're like, "You just don't have the same dick as my dad," kind of thing. So it's like, it's like there are similar parallel thoughts where it's like, I didn't know that girl.
Yikes.
She didn't know me.
Yikes. Whoa.
It's a funny joke for a girl standpoint too.
Yeah, but I'm just, as another woman, I'm just going, yikes. Because honestly, I don't want to compare any of the dude's dicks I've ever been with to my father. Ever.
Yeah.
Ever.
But maybe let's do it right now.
I'm going to vomit, dude. Seriously, like, no. That's the thing is like.
Have you ever, personal question, have you ever walked in on your dad naked, like everybody?
Well, yeah, not intentionally. My dad didn't know I was going to do it. Like, so.
He wasn't like this.
Oh, stop, dude, please. Okay, so sorry, it's just my dad. And I just saw him, so it's even more weird because it's very recent that I saw.
Describe his dick in detail.
Okay.
Go.
I don't have a memory of it in detail. I was a child. I was very little.
Yeah.
So he was working on the bathroom upstairs. We had 2 bathrooms. So we all, a family of 5, had to use one bathroom in the morning. But we have a shower curtain, so if we knocked and they were in the shower, we could come in, brush our teeth, leave, or whatever. So I went to do that, brush my teeth. But instead of just saying bye to him, I went, bye, Dad. And I pulled the shower curtain. And my poor dad was like, like he tried not to be like, he acted like really, shocked but I also realized he wasn't trying to. He's like, Vanessa, don't do that. Like he wasn't trying to scare me, but he did because I didn't know what I did wrong. But I do remember going, like, I don't think I thought his penis would look the way it did. Like, all I remember as a kid thinking that was bigger than my brother's because they would have us bathe together when we were kids. Yeah. That's all I kept thinking is, I didn't think it was going to be that big. But I wasn't trying
Turns out your brother's not related to you fully. Go ahead.
Yeah, right. He is, unfortunately. No, I'm kidding. I love my brother. No, but so here's the thing, though. When you're a child, my dad's like maybe 5'11", 6 foot or something.
Yeah.
But as a child, my head was literally his height where his penis was at that time. So it wasn't intentional. I just happened to look when I went to the shower curtain and didn't look. It happens. My poor dad. Yeah. He thought I didn't remember. He asked me a few years ago, and he's like, "Do you ever remember?" Because it bothered him so much that I saw. But he's like, "You don't remember that, do you?" And I go, "Yeah, I remember 100%." And he's like, "Oh my God!" He goes, "I was mortified. I was so mortified." Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, my dad's dick's great, so.
That's cool.
Moving on.
Cool story, bro. Oh my God. All right, so your dad has a nice dick and he's tall.
Yeah. Well, you should have got him on the podcast.
Okay. But you say you don't wait, do you talk to your mom? I'm sorry, I don't know. Is she alive? I
Yeah,
don't
she's
even.
alive.
Okay, you talk to her.
Yeah.
You just don't like her.
Well, I know I like her. I mean, I love her. I like her and I love her.
She just causes you a lot of trauma.
Yeah, I would say so.
So
I mean, if you want to dive into it, we can.
No, it's up to you if you want to die. Well, part of being a comic is what I've noticed there is a trend, everybody talks about it, of some sort of trauma,
Yeah.
usually related to the family, and a need for validation. But anyway, that's just my assumption. I added the need for validation, but I mean,
I think everyone that does performance wants some kind of validation.
yeah, it's sad because like I don't know. I don't know what that would feel like to
Yeah.
feel validated in a way that's whole, like where you didn't need it again, like where it was filled.
Yeah. No. When you know how to fill that void, let me know.
No, but here's the thing: there's people who exist who don't have that void. It's filled. They don't even know what that feels like.
Who the fuck are you?
I know a couple people that I think are like that.
And they're
Sometimes,
retarded. They're like
I don't know,
stupid as
man.
fuck.
Sometimes
right?
no. Sometimes
They're like, I'm happy. I got dinner. I got a girl.
Oh, well, that's not the same validation I'm talking about. I'm talking about healthy, conscious validation where you know where your place is in the world. A lot of those type of people don't know their place.
Mm-hmm.
They have dreams and fantasies that will never happen. Like they're the type like, oh, I like so-and-so's picture, like a famous person, and maybe he saw my like. Like that's their mental thought, even though there's like literally 1 million people liking him.
Right. You're talking
Like,
about
it's
like
going into the
retard. I'm talking about like retard that like
oh my God.
that, like has dinner.
You
has
said the I would.
What's that?
You said the I would.
Yeah, I sure did.
No, but
Yeah. So I'm talking about like
people who are handicapped in certain ways, or I don't even know what is handicapped even appropriate? I don't even know anymore. Shit.
For what?
For any term.
For like
I don't even
retarded
know.
person?
God, I hate you so much.
Want
to tell me about how those mics in Gainesville are going?
This is yeah, exactly how it's like a preview.
Oh God.
I think it's fine to use the word retard if you're saying it about someone that's not retarded,
So here's the thing. I understand this thought process. I had a friend who they weren't sure, but her baby may have been handicapped with Down syndrome if born.
Yeah.
So like they get big offense because it's a very scary thing for parents, and I guess they don't want to make light of it, which I totally understand. But I also understand that the word wasn't necessarily meant as well, it was really, but I don't think after a certain period of time it became almost like part of our dialect without like thinking about it, like when we say stupid or something.
That, and look, can I say another word?
Oh my God, no, I don't know. Can you?
Okay, keep going. Keep talking then. Listen, there's words that use that.
I don't want this podcast to be banned from anything. We don't even have sponsors yet, okay? So can you like slow down? This ain't
Well,
Joe
I'm not
Rogan.
gonna kill any sponsors then.
I don't own billions of like followers that like Joe Rogan has. I have maybe 10 followers, Marshall, now? We got 10? We're at 12. Okay.
I'm one of them.
Like
I'm like 10% of your followers.
Here's what I don't get. We have over 100 something views, but yet no followers.
That's how it goes, I think. But anyways, back to the retards.
Like, comic, share, and comment. I said comic. Yeah, that too. Like, comic. Share. No, anyway, go. What are you saying? Back to.
I'm just saying, like, I think it's like, I'll say the word if, like, I'm not going to make fun of someone that's mentally handicapped. I'm not.
Right.
But I'll call my friend a retard all day. I feel like it's different.
Okay.
Anyways.
I really don't know where I stand on it. Like, I don't really, I just, when someone puts it in a perspective of like a child, and then I go, but I personally have used it. I mean, it's not like I haven't. It slips. It's not like it doesn't. It was part of my dialect for mostly 20 years of my life. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't think about it as associated actually with people with Down syndrome. Like I actually, when I said it, I don't really think about it like that.
Yeah.
I just think of it as saying dumb. I don't know why I don't just say that's dumb, but retarded,
it hits harder. It hits harder.
Retarded was in the dialect, for so long, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
It was one of those things. It's not intentional. It just happens. It's not.
I'm very opinionated when it comes to words. I'll just say that. We don't have to get into it because.
Are you telling me you're a libertarian?
No, I'm not. I'm not a libertarian.
Just kidding.
I mean, I feel like I was for sure for years.
I have a lot of friends who were, most of them, my ex-military, like vet friends, they're like mostly identified towards libertarian versus anything else. Even my cousin now, he's in Navy, ex-Navy, so he's a vet.
Right.
Gulf War, bitch. No, I don't know. Yeah, it was Gulf War for sure. It was Desert Storm. Are those the same things?
The pre-party before.
Okay. No, he's young. Well, he's in his 40s, so I don't really know.
It could be both.
Mikey, if you're watching this, I'm sorry, man. I should know what you did for this country.
Thank you for his service.
Thank you for your service, Mikey. I love you. I'm sorry. I should have known better. Anyway, he was in the military and he did some shit.
Yeah. We've all done some shit, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, you're half deaf because of it. Like, what'd you do? What was your job in the Marine Corps? Because that shit is...
Infantry.
Oh, my God. That's the worst position, isn't it?
So, before I joined, I knew nothing about the military.
Uh-huh. So, you just picked it. You're like, I like guns.
I was like, I didn't even know what the fuck infantry was. I didn't know the word. I never heard it.
Like, you guys are the first ones in, aren't you?
Yeah. I was like, who are the guys with the guns? That's what I said to the recruiter. I'm like, oh, infantry? I'm like, I guess.
What is your IQ?
Like, it's stupid. I'm retarded.
Like, I had nothing going on, so I decided to go into the goddamn Marine Corps.
Exactly. I mean, pretty much.
Where they have them guns at? That's where I want to be at.
Who are them guys with them guns that kill?
I want to be at where them guns at. Okay, I'm from Gainesville, Gville, baby, all the way. What's the area code for it?
352, baby.
352 up in this house. All right, 352. All right, 352. Is that how you guys do it? Because Miami, we do it 305 like that.
Where the fuck aren't you from? Oh, I'm from New York. I'm from Jacksonville. I'm from Oakland.
My soul's from the universe, baby. No, that's another thing. Most people think I was like a military brat. I'm like, no, my parents were just divorced, and neither one could make up their mind where they wanted to stay at. So,
okay, I thought you were gonna say my parents were divorced, and neither of them can make up their mind who wanted to take me.
That's true too.
Oh, really?
Pretty much. I mean, like, so my dad was in New York. Then we moved to Miami. Then my mom decided, after being in Miami for so long, we finally had roots and friends, that she was going to move to Jacksonville. Well, my brother and sister didn't want to go with her. My dad had moved from New York finally with his girlfriend to Florida, the west coast of Florida, where we were at. Excuse me, that was Modelo. And then I went with my mother because, of course, I'm the one who always looked after her. She was diabetic. They couldn't stand my mother because she was also abusive. And I went to Jacksonville. So I was only here for 3 months in 7th grade. And boy, did I make an impression. And then my mom...
Wait. Can we stop there? What do you mean by impression?
I still had friends that I talked to. But also when I walked up to the bus stop, I was smoking a cigarette in 7th grade. And I left now because, like, who the fuck did I think I was, bro? Like, who the fuck? Yo, Melissa.
Who's this 40-year-old? Who's this 40-year-old 7th grader?
Melissa, my sister, if you're watching, you know what I'm talking about. Like, who the fuck did we think we were? So I walk up, smoking a cigarette. I fucking threw that thing on the ground. I see these dudes playing football, like tag football. I want to play. So I turn to the girls who are just watching. I'm like, yo, how can I play? And they're like, you want to play with them? And I'm like, yeah, bro. Like, I'm wearing Converse. I have like corduroy denims on. Like, I've been the same person. Like, me and my sister and my brother, we haven't really changed much. And that's part of the trauma. But we are still, like, at our core, like, who we are. So, yeah. So anyway, I had to bribe the quarterback with a bag of Skittles to let me play on their team.
Not a cigarette?
No, because none of them smoked. Like, I was just...
Were you, like, running like a slant and you're like...
Not at all.
I got smoker.
I was in 7th grade.
I got to quit smoking.
No, dude, it's not like I had a pack on me at all times. It was like when I could sneak one or steal one. It wasn't like, it was just try to be cool. It wasn't like I was an addict yet.
Sure.
Of course, I was building those habits.
Yeah,
you know what I
yeah.
mean? I was totally building on them. No, I just realized I knew I had to. As a New Yorker and coming from Miami, like sometimes you got to bribe people to get what you want.
Yeah.
So I would buy Skittles. I did it the kid style. I just said, hey, I had a bag of Skittles. The dude I knew who was a quarterback and he was friendly to me. Actually, you remind me of him kind of. His name was Dylan. Dylan, if he's still out there, we went to Kernan Middle School together, dude. So anyway, so Dylan asked if he could have some Skittles. And I said, I'll give you the whole bag if you let me play, play on your team tomorrow. And he's like, football? And I was like, yo, bro, I have an older brother. I can play. Yeah, football. So he goes, fine. He goes, fine, you can play. So I was going to be a wide receiver. Well, guess what? I didn't receive shit. They wouldn't pass it to me. But finally they had to because nobody would cover me either because nobody would pass it to me. So why cover me?
Yeah.
So I'm in the end zone. I'm like, fucking Hail Mary, you stupid bitch. And he realized he had no choice to do that. So he did. And I caught it. I fucking slammed it down like fucking Deion Sanders and told them all to fucking eat it. And then he finally started passing me the ball. And I'm like, dude, lateral, like fucking lateral. Because I played. So it's not. Anyway, again, the tits and the vagina got in the way of,
those pesky things.
Having friends. But then I made friends. Some of them became my best friends. I would be the only girl, obviously, of course, like always.
You're definitely one of those girls that has like more guy friends than girls, right?
Yeah, but it's not that I want that. I mean, I would love to have relationships with women, but I think, unfortunately, and if you disagree with me with this, that's cool. I don't care. No, I do care. I'm lying. I care about everything.
I'm going to therapy about it.
Yeah,
actually.
yeah. No, I mean, I want more girlfriends, but I feel like there's weird jealousy stuff that comes up, and I'm not just saying to me. I'm saying also from me. Like, I'm just more aware of it. So like if I have a friend that I've told her before, I'm jealous, dude. Like I think it's best if I don't come. Like I'm aware of it.
Yeah.
Not because she doesn't deserve that.
Can we talk about the open mic last week?
Oh my God, why? What about it?
Because it's very funny. It's hilarious.
Okay, you tell me.
Okay, so I'll tell the story. You comment at the end.
Okay.
And
well, you tell your version of the story.
Yeah, I'll tell my version.
Yeah, because I'm always going to come up with another version. You just best believe it. Okay.
Okay, so there's like a girl who's never done comedy before. First off, she was like talking during everybody's set a little bit. But she gets up there on stage and it's like, I never done comedy before, blah, like normal first time doing comedy stuff. She like blows a light. I've seen it quite a bit. And then you get up there and you're like, hey, the first thing you say, hey, fucking idiot. It's called a light, motherfucker. If you want to do comedy, maybe you should talk to the host. And I was like dying laughing. It was honestly the funniest thing of the night.
Is that all you have to say about that? Or can I have a retort?
No retort. Moving on.
Good. Then I'm going to have my own version of this.
Go ahead.
All right. This dumb bitch obviously is something going on with her. Her meds are off or she needs meds. And I'm sorry if I'm saying that. And if your anxiety is making you act that way and you're not on any meds or anything, also, please go talk to somebody. But second off, all I was doing is trying to give her advice because she was rude as fucking disrespectful. When you want to get into comedy, you would think that you would research what that means.
Yeah.
And how are mics run? You'll find out a lot of mics are run differently. But most importantly, most comics take ownership of their actions and figure out who they need to talk to find out how things work. Nobody's going to hand it to you. So you know what? That bitch can suck the dick I don't have. And she was rude as shit. And there were working comics in that room. And I actually was trying to give her advice.
Right.
Because she was just being obnoxious.
Sure.
Yeah, I've been called obnoxious before, but that's when I'm on like shrooms and fucking ecstasy in the middle of a trailer when I was 17, bro. This woman was definitely in her mid-40s. So no, I'm not going to be gentle. I also have a fucking kid. I don't know what this bitch has, but she obviously doesn't have a fucking lack of, or lick of sense like the Southern people say. You don't have a fucking lick of sense. So, bitch, if you're watching, I know that's why you didn't add me. And if you want to be respectful, stop talking during people's sets and talk to them. Ask questions. Don't assume it's going to be handed to you. And that's what's up. Go to therapy. Yeah. So
get on that medication.
And then, of course, Jake, by the way, had to go up there and say I reamed her out and all this stuff. But I was like, I thought I was being nice and firm. I did my managerial voice. I didn't I'm not going to be her buddy.
Yeah.
Fuck her, dude. Like, it's so disrespectful to come in there and be that rude. And like then complain you're getting a light and that he didn't tell you the rules. The rules are not for you as a comic. The rules are for the fucking audience members. Nobody tells the rules to the whole audience. That is really just for the audience. If you want to tell the comics the rules, side note, go ahead. But like, or go to Gainesville, bitch. Go to Gainesville where you have little petty ass kids.
Can we talk about that?
Who can have censorship all day.
It's insane.
That's not comedy. If you censor somebody, that's not comedy. We're not heroes. We're not heroes. We don't wear fucking capes. We're observers. We're PTSD victims, okay? So I don't know what the fuck you're expecting from us. All right, I'm going to kick this fucking soapbox away. Thanks, Jake. Thanks, Jake. Oh, God, Marshall, please don't clip this. I feel like this is
No, please clip it.
I feel like, yeah. I feel like everybody, well, actually, that would probably be really good for comics if I clip that. We ain't heroes. We don't wear capes. We're PTSD victims.
Preach! This just in. Vanessa doesn't give a fuck about your feelings if you're a new comic.
I do care about your feelings. I'm actually nice. I would say most new comics will tell you I am so nice to you. If you're respectful. Like, but this bitch wasn't respectful.
Right.
And then it pissed me off because she is a woman.
Bro, you should have punched her in the face.
Because she is a woman. Like, it's not cool, man. Like, we already have a minimum of women in comedy. And then you're going to come up there and act like a fool?
Yeah.
Embarrass me to have a vagina, dude. Like, fuck. God. That's like it's so funny because me and my sister, the more, like, I don't get to see her all the time, but we are very similar in a lot of ways. But she does have more women friends. But the women friends that she has are also creatives in that, like, you know, she's a musician and stuff. So they're more in that field. They're just like, where are the comics in Jacksonville that are women? Like, they text me and they're like, I'll come. And they don't show up to the mics. And I'm like, But those are usually I'm cool with, you know. Morgan comes, which is great, but Morgan's on tour a lot too. So
she's like
she's the only one I get to see now, really, mostly Morgan.
I mean, you, Morgan, who are the other female comedians? I feel like
there's Anna Lepley, which she's gonna come on after you. But Anna travels around. I don't know if she's based in Jacksonville anymore. She was for a short period of time, but she's originally, I believe, from Miami. So, or no, maybe Connecticut and then moved to Miami or something like that. And then there's Jessica Mears, and she's traveling right now. She was going to come on, but she has to wait till she gets back. She's at a festival doing stuff. Like, she works at festivals, bartending and stuff.
Right.
And then there's Lauren Brissett. She just moved from St. Augustine here, so I'm trying to see if she'll come out. And there's Emily Pancala.
Tiffany.
I don't know who you're speaking of at all.
You could, anyways. There's very few Jacksonville female comedians I noticed.
Well, there's other female comedians too, but those are the ones I'm aware of in this scene because there's other scenes. You know, so like black comics in Jacksonville have. Like,
there's that one girl, right? Daisy. Who? Jen Weeks.
I don't know who that is.
Jen Weeks is.
Yeah, I don't know who. Yeah. Okay. I don't know if I've ever met her though. That's what I'm saying. Like, there's other mics that I'm aware of that exist in Jacksonville that I haven't been to that I guarantee are more comics. Like, I know I've met some male black comics who talk about other mics, and I see flyers and I'll see the female black comics on there, but I'll never see them come out to the other mics, which I would love for them to come out. They
don't advertise the urban rooms, honestly.
Yeah, they do. You just got to look for it.
Where?
Sometimes in the Jacksonville Comedy Facebook. We follow this guy, Raul, too. He's a Comedy Zone comic, but he's a black comic who also does a lot of the mics. I think there's one too, like, the thing is, some of them you have to drive to too. Like, they're not that close, maybe Daytona.
Okay.
But there's also some that they want you to pay to be on the mic. So I don't know.
That's like LA.
Yeah. I don't know nothing about those, but there are some open mics I'm aware of. But a lot of those shows, they book them out. That, like, I noticed a lot. There was a black booker that had reached out to me, but he wanted me to do the county fair in is it Alachua? Where's the county fair? Clay County. Clay County has a fair. Everything was Clay County, but it was like last minute. I was like, dude, I couldn't do it then. But then I think because I had to deny a couple of things because he kind of just called me out of blue. I think he's just stopped talking to me because I just didn't have it. I had to work. At the time too, I was a manager at a bank, so it's like I couldn't really just up and leave and go. Like, it's not, I don't know. It's not like calling out to like Papa John's or something. Like when you work, it's like you'll find somebody else to deliver your pizzas. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it'd be all right.
They care about their money.
You know, Papa John's delivery drivers make $20 an hour.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, they sent it, or maybe it was Domino's. One of those guys put it in the bag. No, I think it was Papa John's. Put it in the bag that, hey, they're looking for drivers, and they pay $20 an hour. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, that's crazy. Plus tips, huh?
I think it said plus tips. I'm not speaking, this is not a promotion, so I don't know the full facts. But Papa John's, if you love to promote, we're here for it.
I won't say the R word anymore.
We know that you're listening. We know that you are.
I should say, I don't know very many people in the comedy scene. I feel like I know you.
And can't you agree that I'm very friendly and nice to people?
I mean, you're my only friend in the comedy scene.
That's what I'm talking about. There you go. No, I'm kidding.
You are. Like, Mikey, I don't even know what the fuck his last name is.
Mikey Belialis.
What?
Belialis.
Like, he's one of the first people I met when I got here. I was just like, yo, he gives off like youth group Christian camp vibes. I was like, he'll be nice to me. And he was like, he may hate me, but I feel like he's nice to everybody, kind of thing.
He is to an extent, but I've seen Mikey, if he has to be, he can give you the cold shoulder if he has to.
Sure.
Yeah.
You, Mikey, I know Christian.
Yeah, Christian. What about Joe Malice?
Who?
Joe Malice.
I don't know Joe.
Joe, he does the jokes that I always say he's like a junior Andrew Dice Clay. Like he's his grandson.
Okay, we've talked to him a little bit, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I know of him.
I always feel like you and him would get along better than anybody. That's why I always have you guys have conversations about stuff, but then you guys never really talk to each other.
Yeah. Which
is so weird to me. I'm like, I'm trying to glue this together, and you guys just are like, yeah. You both answer the same way. That's why I thought you guys would be.
All right, give me an example. How's he answer something?
He'll be like, well, yeah, but what about this? Like, what do you mean? Like, is it, you do the same thing where you'd be like, well, yeah. And you ask me another question. He does the same thing. He'll say, well, yeah, well, wait, but do you mean this? And then I'd be like, yeah. And I'll answer. And then you'll either change your answer slightly based on your question, and you both do it. Observant bitch.
You are, yeah. You've been to so much therapy, haven't you?
Or I've self-analyzed my whole life.
Yeah, there's that. What something? There's something where you're like,
yeah.
You notice a lot of small behavior.
Well, those behaviors are telling.
Right.
They are telling. Like, I look at people's body language, things like that. Sometimes I'm aware of mine, and I'm just like, settle down. You're exposing yourself. They're going to see right through you.
What do I do if I have to pee? Do I just crack open one of these?
No, do you really have to pee right now?
I really had to pee pretty bad. We'll just cut.
We're going to pause it right now because Jay can't hold his bladder. We'll be right back.
I drink a lot of Modelo's.
And we're back. Jake got his pee-pee break. How was it?
It was good.
Good. I got one too.
Wash my hands.
Even better. Even better. All right. I always ask the comic sister, I'm going to move on to it real quick. Do you believe in anything paranormal? And that could be, oh my goodness, that could be anything from aliens to ghosts to demons to, I don't know, Bigfoot.
I mean, I think there's definitely probably aliens out there.
A little closer to the mic, please. Say that again, one time for the camera.
I watched Independence Day, and I think there's definitely aliens.
Okay. What about ghosts, though, and spirits of anything? Like, do you believe in an afterlife? Do you believe we're just here and then we're just out?
No, I think there's. I've come to believe in Jesus. Honestly.
Okay. I wasn't sure if this was a bit or not. Okay. No, I'm not trying to laugh at that.
I
want to respect everybody's.
Since the 4th grade, I was an atheist.
Okay.
Until I don't know, a couple years ago.
Okay. Do you want to share with us why what happened? That made you feel like you're now a believer of Jesus Christ, our Savior, our Lord and Savior? I'm sorry, I can't help it. I'm not making fun of you guys if you believe in Jesus.
I like how you're asking though. Is there a reason why you believe,
No. I mean,
you believe in Jesus?
No, I have a belief in Jesus. It's
Okay.
just not the traditional belief.
Gotcha.
You know, it's an amalgamation of multiple stuff. Anyway, we could get into that later. But like, what happened that you had a change of heart?
So I was in Iraq. You have a lot of time to think in Iraq.
Oh my God, now it's getting really heavy.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm not laughing at that.
I mean, so I wasn't in the military anymore. I was contracting.
Okay.
So
making them that money.
Yep. That's how I afford to live next to a retired dentist.
Nice.
Who's an asshole.
Yeah.
But,
well, you know, you kill people, but you also own a house. So, you know, there you go. It's the American way. No, but go
actually,
ahead.
yeah,
Sorry. We shouldn't be
forefathers,
laughing about that. That's sad, but also true, but sad. I'm sorry. So continue with your story. So
you just have a lot of time to think when you're over there.
Well, and your life's at risk. I'm assuming that you had a lot to think about your life, right?
Yeah, of course.
And was your child existing then yet, or what?
No, not a glimmer in my eye yet.
That's actually pretty cool though, because it wasn't like your kid was the one who like kind of woke you up to stuff or whatever.
Right. Here's what kind of like you think about. I feel like, I don't know, when you're younger, you think about it a fucking lot. At least I did. Like, there's a lot of stuff that doesn't make sense, right? And you try to make sense of it. And so just like,
do you mean like Adam using one of his ribs to make a woman?
No, that makes perfect sense.
Fuck yeah.
Honestly, so I believe in Jesus, but I've probably been the amount of days I've been to church couldn't fill a month in a calendar.
Oh, I could fill some church time.
Okay. Well, I can't. Like, that's how I grew up. Like,
so your family wasn't religious at all?
Not my immediate family.
Okay.
But like everyone else was.
Oh, okay.
In my family.
So did you get like Easter egg hunts and stuff still?
Yeah, we did Easter egg hunts.
And Christmas.
Did Christmas.
But it was just basically marketing scheme.
It was a Hallmark.
Yeah. Where it was just like, get them presents because everybody else is doing it, kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, here's Santa because everyone else lies to their kids, so we're gonna lie to you too.
I mean, they lied to you about Santa, but they wouldn't lie to you about Jesus. No, I'm kidding. I'm sorry. No,
okay, so let me get to where I actually believe in. Like,
yeah,
the impossibility that we're alive. It's just like, to me, it's impossible.
That's why you believe in aliens, then, though.
Well, I'll get to that, I guess. But
I'm kidding. That was my way of saying aliens interrupted our DNA and made us evolve 30,000 years faster than we would have. Anyway,
the way life is created is like, you had
it's amazing.
The perfect timing.
Mm-hmm.
You're not some fucking jack off rag, right? Like, if that's what you believe in, like if you believe that we're evolution and it just what happens, the impossibility that you're not jacked off into a rag is impossible. Impossible. It's impossible that you're here, healthy, talking to me on the world that like with breathable, livable things. You know, it's just like it's all impossible unless there's a creative designer.
But then I would just, speaking from having atheist friends, I'm not atheist, but speaking from having atheist friends, I would say that their argument to you would be, actually, no, there is a possibility. It's called science. And they would do a number of ratio of why you existed before the first nut your dad did, the prior to the other nut, or why. Now, here's the thing I will say. There is it is crazy to think that there's all these little semens, tadpoles or whatever. What are they called? Sperm. Thank you. That's my own brain gave me. Yeah, that's my own brain that did a callback. So sperm that are fighting to get into this one egg, and then it encapsulates itself once the whole process of it, and that these things are programmed to do this. Like, these cells are programmed. I mean, it is pretty amazing. Now, the possibility of it, like how you will, that action would turn into you or to me or to Marshall or to my daughter. That's the thing that I guess gets us, because like a good example is like, you have siblings?
One brother.
Yeah. Is he like way older or younger?
He's
or
2 years older.
Oh, that's not old at all. Much. Are you close?
Not at all.
But do you feel like you guys are very different?
Yeah.
And so that's what I'm saying. Like, so you have the same DNA profiles, right? Like in the sense, like same mom, same dad.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But yet you all come up even in the same household. But obviously then that fights the nurture nature. Like, did your dad treat you different than your brother? Did your mom treat him different than you? And I feel like all of that combined changes people's makeups. But I don't know how much God plays a role in that. You know what I mean? Like once we're here.
Yeah. No, I agree.
I mean,
I think there's a lot of free will.
I think it's all free will, in my opinion. Like, because I know that there's arguments with the atheists will give, well, why would cancer exist and why would this exist? But at the end of the day, I'm like, it's all free will. I don't think anybody's watching us. I mean, I think you can call upon beings or something to come help you, but I don't think there's anything literally staring in front of what we would deem as screens or connections to every scenario, every situation, everything everybody's dealing with. That's almost impossible.
I really hope no one's really like up there watching me. Like, think about all the fucking.
Well,
how many times I jack off?
I mean,
like, are you watching me jack off up there? Like,
my personal belief, yeah, probably. But I do worry about that sometimes.
It's like my CTV up there.
You ever tell anybody, like, you ever feel like you're not alone in a bathroom? Have you ever had that?
Not really.
I have. And I will tell whatever that is to leave. And then I actually feel like it's gone. Whatever that is.
Like flush the toilet and then you hear the door open?
No, I just said, not today. Like, you're going to leave me alone. I don't know. I have those weird things. And then usually when I say that, like even in this hallway, this studio here that we're at, like that hallway is real creepy to me. And I was like, you're not coming near me. And it didn't, whatever it was, because I was just like putting up a barrier. Bye. Like, I don't want two different dimensions intermingling.
I love how your barrier is like West Side Story.
It is.
Like, I'm gonna fight
Maria. No, but yeah, no, it's one of those. I don't know. I mean, I was just curious, like, if you've ever had a paranormal experience.
I would say, not that I noticed.
Not ever. Not even in Iraq.
No.
Really?
Yeah.
But yet you still found God.
Yeah. What about? Okay, tell me yours.
About what?
Paranormal.
Oh, I've told a couple on a different podcast. Like,
well, it's down and dirty.
Well, a recent one that actually me and my sister were just talking about because I wanted to confirm it with her. There was a night she once told me when we moved from New York to Miami, and she thought it was mom my mother in the doorway, leaning like into the doorway, but like on the wall, but like hanging. And that individual had red eyes. But when we got older and we looked into it, those are actually beings that people have recorded throughout history, have seen. And they call them shadow people, but they're particular kinds, like with the red eyes. Because some shadow people have no visual aspect. You just see the shadow of them. But these are beings that wholly exist to just walk around and, I guess, invade people's homes or places. I mean, at the time, my sister was dealing with a lot. She was a little kid. She was praying a lot. And mind you, that I don't think they ever baptized us or given us our communion or anything. But my mom, being initially raised Roman Catholic, she'd still take us to the church and make us go get communion and stuff. But we weren't supposed to. And if you're a Spaniard listening to this, I'm sorry, because it turns out that's really a big no-no. I told one lady who was from Spain that, and she basically told me I was a heathen and that Jesus would be upset about that. I was like, yeah, I don't think he mind at all, because I've done it so many times. Yeah. So many times in so many different churches. Yeah, my mom would go to a Methodist church, she'd go to a Catholic church. My mom just went to any church that said they believed in God.
The human component of religion, I think, sucks for a most part. A lot, not most part, but like the parts that get like the spotlight, I think it sucks.
I think like what church is about mostly is about community, and I think that's kind of lost now because we're so diverse, really. Like, we're not as tribal as we used to be in that sense. So that's why sometimes I think the church is obsolete, but they're trying to like win people back. That's why I do that bit about the Pope, all the things Pope says, because I'm just like, man, he's really trying to, have some stingers on like Twitter or Instagram to get people to come back to the church. Nobody's coming back. Plus, you have so much money. What more do you need?
Yeah.
Your church has already raped and ruined a lot of people's lives. You've murdered millions. I don't, if we want to go into the Templars. I mean, I don't know. I just feel like it's ridiculous. At this point, you can believe God without going to a church or donating money, and like, because in my opinion, you can call it whatever you want, whether it's universal energy, whether it's God, whatever. Because I don't believe in the patriarch kind of God sense, like it's a dude in the sky with white hair and all this stuff. I do believe there's an energy source we come from, but I do believe so if you look at the Bible, have you ever studied the Bible or even read it?
No.
But you believe in Jesus now?
Yeah.
Marshall, are you even hearing this right now? Okay. Well, why him?
Look at this idiot.
No. But I mean, why would you believe in him and not anything else then? Why is he particularly the one you?
I mean,
You never even opened a Bible or looked at it?
no.
Well, anyway, there's a study, and I'm not rolling my eyes for that.
You are.
No. I'm rolling my eyes to what I have to get through to like get to the point. So there's a part of the Revelations in the beginning when they talk about Adam and Eve, but in the beginning it says in the beginning.
Yeah.
And then in that paragraph in the first page of Genesis, I believe, or Revelations, whatever.
I never studied this, but I know
it says
you're
we
saying.
will create them in our image. Who is our? Who is we?
Right.
And then all of a sudden we're taking a rip from Adam. What are you talking about, dummy? Like, anyway, back in the day, the Greeks and the Romans, they used to have goddesses. And so the idea is that the mother is reactive and the dad is consistent. So he's just stable. So he doesn't move. He helps create, but the mother is the reactor. So back in the day, the Romans would call upon the mother, the goddess, to make things happen, not the father. But they would have a duality. It wasn't like, and there was more past cultures and societies that actually worship women because of our fertility and ability. We're just
Boobies.
smarter. That too. Yeah, that too. Boobies, sure. But no, I was just curious. So you believe in aliens. So what else about aliens, though, that you believe? Just because, like, they've admitted to it finally now, or you just
think
feel
it's
like
a possibility.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I feel like it's arrogant to assume
It's not, right? Yeah, that we're the only
that
life
we're
form.
the only life here, and like they've already proven like that octopus are technically alien to our planet, and they're super intelligent. There's a lot of things that do exist on this planet that are sometimes they think do come from outer space somewhere else, but they've managed to survive here.
Right.
And that's insane to me. That's pretty cool.
Right.
But that's how I think science complements the universe in a paranormal way. It's just we don't know how to explain it yet. But I do think it all is consistent with each other.
Sure. So you've had some paranormal experiences?
Yeah. Yeah, I've had a lot actually.
Including paranormal, and not including paranormal, what's the scariest thing that's ever happened to you?
Well, initially it was when I thought something was holding me down. But I don't think that now. I don't know if it was holding me down or if I was just coming into my body and I felt the pressure of the switch of dimensions, like feeling myself being pushed into my body.
Yeah.
But I heard a voice when I asked for help.
What did it say?
It said force, because I was asking, like, what should I do? I feel like I'm being held down. But then I realized it was like, I thought it was telling me to force myself into my body to feel whole and to create a light around myself. And what I always laugh about is that this voice was, I'm not trying to be like stereotypical, but it was like a black male soulful voice. Like it was like, it was
Honey
like,
child.
yeah, it was like what was that guy? Like Barry White almost. And I always laugh because I was telling Jamar this on our first episode. Is like, I think that's why I have an affinity to like black people, but I used to also dream that I had a black family. This is I mean it in the healthy way. Like I would show up and they'd be telling me they've been waiting for me and I knew them, but I don't know them in this life. Like I knew them as my family in my dreams. Like 100% they were my family.
Yeah.
But I don't know their faces or anything here in this life.
I will
Isn't
say,
that weird though?
Yeah. I will say you remind me of by saying that you reminded me. I know exactly when I started having memory. Like it, like I don't know how to explain it, but like I just like came to,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like standing there in my yard as a 3-year-old talking to my neighbor.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what that's all about, but I've remembered it my whole life. Like I don't know.
Wait, that was your experience? Wait, repeat that. Like,
Okay, so when I was like 3 years old,
uh-huh.
I remember the exact moment I started having memory.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It came like it was like a rush, like quantum leap, like you're like traveling through something, and I'm just like fucking there all the time.
Right.
Yeah.
See, the memory I have the earliest memory, I was singing in my dad's Jeep and I had sunglasses on and I was singing to some 80s song and they were cheering me on. That's the earliest memory. I was probably
What
3.
was the song?
Oh God, he would tell you because I keep forgetting it, but it was a very popular song, but he was shocked that I knew every word to the lyrics, so he cheered me on
Right.
because I started singing every lyric and he was just shocked. I was like 3 or 4. I
Right.
was around that age. But I just thought, "Oh, my dad's paying attention to me. I'm gonna keep going." Like, I remember that feeling like, "Oh, I'm getting attention from my dad." It was nice.
What was
It
your
was
first stand-up moment?
my first performance moment, really, because I
Yeah.
was a classically trained musician, so, like, I don't know, maybe that helped me get
In what sense? Like what instrument?
I knew how to play the xylophone, recorder, like, you build up to that. Then I was doing chorus, but I played the flute, and then I could play the sax and the trumpet. Like, I can play all that stuff.
Okay.
If you put it in front of me, you just need to show me, and I'll just start playing. Like, if you I was gonna go to, what they call Lark School in New York, and it was a gifted program for musicians. So I would when I was a child, like, in 1st grade, 7 years old, I would hear a tune, go to the piano, and just play it. That's what I could do back then.
Right.
Don't tell me to do it now. It would take a lot longer, but I can still do it. I can hear the notes or whatever, but it would take me a lot longer. But when I was a kid, you give me about 5 minutes, boop, 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 I'd start playing it. It was really weird. I look back now and I'm like, yeah, I just knew the note. I would know that, oh, that's C minor or this is D flat or something or B sharp.
Well, I definitely like zoned out for a second.
Yeah.
You're saying you knew how to play music just by looking at it?
Yeah. So by hearing it, like if I would
Okay.
hear it, I could play the tune. But I also reading. I had music theory. I was taught how to read music. But I really wanted to be a composer when I grew up. That's what I wanted. I wanted to compose music and be a conductor, and because I was also in orchestra, like I did all that stuff. But Jake, we're honestly at the end of it.
Okay.
Is there anything you'd like to promote?
Come to the open mics in Jacksonville.
Don't maybe have some material. Ask your host what the rules are. Don't say it on stage. But also follow Jake at
Jake McCown 1 on Instagram.
There we go. You did it for me. But thanks for tuning in, guys, and we'll see you next time. Los Rotos.